entrepreneur and advocate for transformative education. She's dedicated to creating positive change, and her career roles have spanned media entrepreneur, creative director, speaker. So I can't wait to hear her speak. She crafts narratives that uplift and empower people. Her focus on transformative education aims to make a positive impact on individuals and society. She envisions a society filled with empowered individuals and tirelessly works to break down stereotypes, foster sustainable development. Her mantra is simple yet powerful. You have one life. Make the most of it and help others succeed while you're at it. Her journey is remarkable. I can't wait to hear from her. Over to you.
Hello. Hi. Wango.
Hi. Please correct me on how to pronounce your name.
Okay, so next time, so you don't bite your tongue, just say Uwa. Uwa is fine.
Uwa.
Yes, Uwa is
I'll
fine.
have to send a message privately so that I can really learn how to say your name, because names are important. They are what identify us, and they're
Yeah,
part
so
of
it's
our
called
person.
Osayuwamen. Osayuwamen, that's the name. But Uwa is fine, so
Okay,
you don't bite your tongue.
thank
All right,
you.
thank you so much for having me. I have, I think, 15 minutes, so I want to quickly make good use of my time. Thank you, Nancy, and thank you to the entire team. I love this conference. I've been following it since day one when it started, and I can't help but, say well done to the entire team at the Strategic Solutions that's headed by Nancy. All right, so I'm a media girl. I love media. Everything. That's all I know how to do best, and I've done that for a while now, close to 2 decades, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here to speak. So I do not repeat what other guests have been saying. I listened to Dr. Nanke this morning, and she was talking about, how it was important for you to understand personal branding and how it was so key and pivotal to her growth. And again, if you have been following all the speakers, you would know that something has been really a word. There's been a buzzword going around, and that's consistency. And really, that's all what media is about. There has to be some level of consistency. So to help me put together my thoughts, I created a very quick slides to run through, so we can, if they can help me pull up the slides, right? As we all know, right, we are in a digital age where everything right now is really hinged on media, and media has become a transformative tool that helps individuals to find very meaningful impact and drive change in their lives. So if you are doing anything today and you're not harnessing the power of media, then you are not ready for growth. So if you understand this, you will then understand why I am very, very excited when it comes to speaking about how important it is for people to pay attention to what it is that they are putting out in the media space. And again, so I will focus on these keywords: persistence, positioning, projection, promotion, and patronage, right? By persistently harnessing the power of media, we can position, project, promote our brands, goods, or services for patronage. We can truly leverage media to completely change our lives and give us the desired outcome. I know everyone that is here today, definitely you want to succeed. And there's one trick that we need to understand when we're playing in the media space. Media is not something that you wake up and say, oh, I have to have 10 billion followers. It doesn't work that way. We need to be intentional about and consistent. Then all those other things are perks that will come afterwards. Some person might be watching this video today, or maybe on YouTube you're streaming and you're seeing, oh, maybe just 10 people viewing. You don't need more than that when it comes to media, right? All you need to be intentional about is what it is that you are putting out there, regardless of how many likes you get. Because I think these days we're so caught up in views, we're so caught up in likes and all of that. So it is difficult, right? It is difficult to have it's difficult for people to have that clarity that, you need to shift your focus away from those things and just focus on what matters. So I'll move on to the first thing I would like to talk about, which is positioning, right? if you understand what positioning means, it means that you must take control of the narrative. I think Dr. Nanke touched on it, and even the last speaker that just finished speaking also touched on it. Media is a tool, right? And what does it do? It's just to pass on information. So if you understand that, you must understand that you must be in control of your narrative, and it has to be strategic, right? It has to be strategic because we are working with impressions, we are working with perceptions. Anything you do right now, you have the power, unlike before where a media house can decide to completely ruin your career. You don't have, I mean, they don't have that power anymore. We all own that power to control our narratives, and we have to be intentional about strategically positioning ourselves to ensure that, you know what, by the time I control that narrative, right, I can then eventually get myself to where I want to be. And of course, you know, you must also put together, right, strategies, networking, what Nancy is doing, be part of the community. I mean, she's been talking about the community from the beginning of this conference. Be part of that community. If this community doesn't work for you, look for a community that works for you. But be intentional and be strategic about communities. I'm not a community person, and it is okay if you do not want communities, right? I'm not a community person, but I have seen how much people's lives have been transformed by just joining different communities, right? So you need to understand that these kinds of engagement has to be strategic, and you have to find those tools to amplify your voice and expand your reach. That is positioning. So everything you're putting out, is it what I really want to put out? So when you approach media, whether it be it social media, print media, mainstream media, you have to approach it with intentionality, right? You have to be approaching media with intentionality to say, you know what, am I positioning myself right? So that's the core for positioning. So I'll move on to the next one, because I have keywords that I want you, if you don't take anything out of this conference, take out these keywords. Positioning, take out positioning, take out, I think my screen is frozen. Am I sure I'm still on the right track, right? Are you with me? Can someone hear me? Let me be sure. Yeah, projection, right? So you have to use media as a canvas to project your vision, you know, your successes, your fulfillment, whatever it is that you want to put out there. You have to be intentional. I have learned the act of storytelling. Many years ago, when I was going into the media space, I didn't even know what I was doing there. But almost 20 years down the line, I can clearly see why I am in the media space, because I am there not to just be there because I want to be famous, but actually to help people put their brands, you know, in a better light, projecting them to a bigger stage, right? So with you now, when you think media, think that, okay, how am I using it as a tool to project myself? How am I using it as a tool to project what I sell? How am I using it as a tool to project everything that I want to put out there, you know, that would eventually come back to me as maybe financial reward or whatever? Now, I would share a quick story. I have a platform, I have a show that I created in 2019. And in 2019, when I created that show, I just wanted to bring out a different kind of conversation on the mainstream media in Lagos, Nigeria. And I started featuring small businesses that had never thought about going on mainstream media ever in their lives. So every Friday, I dedicated that platform for small businesses. And I remember featuring one of the businesses. I wouldn't mention their name just because I've not asked for permission to. But guess what? That was their first time ever going on TV, let alone live television. And by the time they were done, just 2 years, barely 2 years after that, they were featured on CNN African Voices. You know, you might look at it that, oh, I'm not doing much. If there is an opportunity for you to project yourself, how prepared, how well have you positioned yourself? How well are you projecting yourself? Because I'm sure whatever it is that they said that day, it made a lot of sense. And today, you know, they are where they are. And I'm super excited. Every time I share that story, I'm so excited. And every time these founders, there are 2 female founders, Anytime they see me, they say, oh, you were the one that gave us our first opportunity ever to be on TV. They were so nervous. And I can count several, at least 10 women that we have done those kinds of projections for. And today their businesses have taken a new turn. So whatever it is, when you think media, think projection. Always think projection. I'll move on quickly to the next one, promotion, right? You must leverage media. Media is your tool. And thankfully these days, it is little barrier to entry. You must leverage media to promote your talent, your achievement, your endeavors, everything, your entire expertise. Target media and say, you know what, here, this is my battleground. This is the blogs I might need to pay. And as I said from the beginning, remove your mind from how many likes, because those are distractions. When people check the number of likes, the number of views, the number of shares, and they don't see enough engagement, they get discouraged. But that is not the core of why you have a presence online, or why you have a media presence, be it online, offline, or whatever. Media is a tool to pass the information. Your job. I like the fact that a lot of people have been spiritual here, so let me put in a bit of spirituality here. Paul Plants, Apollo Waters, whoever it is that needs to do their job, they have done their job. Ultimately, the goal for the growth, right, for the blossoming, the goal for the for increase, it is left for a more superior power. So that's why your job has never been about focusing on how many likes or how many shares. Your job is to plant, your job is to water. So if you have a content, if you have a product, you're doing a bag, whatever it is, find small production houses. I have a production house that I help small businesses create small ads, whatever it is. Be it ads, be it, tell your story, share your story, whatever it is you're doing. Be intentional about putting out your content out in the media. In various media platforms. So that's your job. You leave it there, right? So promotion, leverage on media, right? Leverage on media. Cultivate a very strong online presence by consistently delivering valuable content and engaging with your audience. Forget about the promotions. Those will come later. Because whilst you're doing that, you're not only looking for, when you do that, you are also shopping, whether consciously or unconsciously. You're shopping for potential mentors, you're shopping for potential collaborators, you're shopping for potential customers. So your job is plant and water and leave it there. And that is what consistent, content creation, valuable content, engaging content needs to be. That's what you need to do, and that's where you leave it. So I'll quickly move on to patronage. Now, after you've done all of those, right, patronage, that's when it starts to happen. You begin to see that not only would your product begin to start gaining attention, people will start asking questions, right? You start to get real patronage on your brand. And I'll share a quick story. Kanye West, I don't know how many of us, I follow the Super Bowl very keenly. Kanye West was, doing an ad, right? And guess what he did? He paid $7 million to do that ad. To secure the ad slot for the Super Bowl, right? He paid $7 million to secure that ad slot. Somebody will say, never. It's too expensive. A lot of small businesses or a lot of people do not want to invest financially in media because they think, oh, it's not worth it, or maybe they just don't understand it. Kanye West did $7 million for the ad slot, for a 30-second ad slot at the Super Bowl. He didn't even have the money to shoot the commercial. I'm sure a lot of people saw that commercial. It was his phone. He held his phone, and just spoke to his phone and said, hi, my name is, this is Yeezy here, blah, 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 go to yeezy.com. And before then, he had positioned his product for sales. He had dropped all the cost on this website to $20. And says, go on my website, just shop. I have nice things. I have shoes. I have that. And that was the ad. At the end of that promo, Kanye West was able to gather almost 300,000 orders, and they were all pre-order sales, meaning that the money he was even going to use to manufacture that product, right? He didn't even need to look for it because these people had pre-ordered, they had paid, and he just needs to remove his profit and send the what's it called, the cost for manufacturing to his manufacturers and shipping and all of that, and it's done. And somebody will tell me media is not powerful. You need to first of all understand, but before you get to that level of patronage, a lot of things must have happened. You must have positioned yourself. The projection must have happened. The promotions must have happened so that you plan. By the time that patronage is coming, it's going to come with a bang. You have to be intentional. Then finally, I would say that to cap all of this, which is what everybody has been hammering on, persistency. You must be very persistent. I mean, there's this song, I put it there on the slide. I said, you know, this song, it says, music no need permission to enter headspace. That is from Chike and Mobad. I don't know how many Nigerians we have here. I love that song. But this song, I kept on listening to the song because I wanted to understand why this song got stuck in my head. And that is the truth. With media, you truly do not need, if you're persistent with social media, mainstream media, print media, you do not need any permission to get into the minds of millions of people. You don't. All you need to do with media is persistent. Just be bombarding, be flooding your timelines, be posting all of the videos, be creating the content, be sharing the content. That's all you need. You don't need the permission to rent a space. You can rent, live rent-free in the minds of millions of people without their permission, just by being consistent. So if you understand some of these principles, right? If I've not said anything, if you can remember these words, and your new strategy to approaching media would be based on this piece that I've mentioned, then you are very guaranteed. I am applying the same principle and I'm seeing results in my life. I've had so many projects that I've handled that I didn't need to lift a finger. All I needed to do was just being consistent at what it is that I'm already doing, right? I have a production company. I create content for clients. I project their businesses. I promote their businesses. That's all I do. And I keep on getting new businesses. People will call me, oh, please, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. All of a sudden, I have become that place where people are thinking, oh, if I want to create my small media product or I want to push my media product on a budget, who do I call to? They come to me. So that is the plan. I have always said it that, if we understood the power of media and what it wields, we can truly unleash a potential that even us, we cannot even contain. With media, there is no, I came first, or you're just coming, how come? Literally, somebody can come today and completely put 10 years of your work behind bars, right? So if we understand this, this principle, and we actively use this media as a tool, no longer just for, I just want to post and look good, or I just want to, if you have a product, if you have a service, if you have a brand, right? As long as you have those three things, you understand, you can truly take the opportunity and make the world, your what's it called, your market. Literally, you can push anything to the world and you then eventually get it. So I'm excited with what we're doing. I know that with little effort, but consistent effort, we can truly change whatever it is that we want to do when it comes to the media space. So I'll be open to questions now. Thank you so much. I hope I stayed within my time bound.
Project, promote, patronage. Those are the words that I'm taking away today. Thank you so much, Uwa. Persistence, position, project, promote. Those are the words that I'm taking away today. And that other point that you made about being part of a community, it's really interesting that you said that you're not part of one. I think I will take one question, and Halima in the audience has asked,
I'm part of, I'm part of many, Wangu. I'm part of many communities. No, like by extension. So I'm part of Strategic Solutions. I'm part of so many communities by extension, but actively involving myself because I have so much, you know, links. I can literally play in any space. So it's easier to just, you know, work from outside and support every community that I can support.
I like that. Halima has asked, how do you manage not focusing on the likes and views?
Ooh, that's a big question. And truly, and that is what I've seen. That is what, and that's why I had to dwell on it, because that's what I've seen a lot of people, you know, they do that, and it becomes what becomes, it makes them discouraged. They are no longer pushing the content because I just saw only 2 views and all of that. But truly, I think that has to be you telling yourself that. That's why I said, if you switch your strategy to say, you know what, am I positioning myself right? Am I promoting the right content? Am I projecting the right content? Focus on those things. Every other thing would happen much later, because a lot of times as business owners, as individual trying to build a brand and all of that, we are very quick to see the people that have 10 million views, to see the people that have 1 million views, to see the people that have so many likes and shares and all of that. And we forget that we have something that we also can put out there, and we would have our market eventually. So I think it's very important that that question is left for the individual. The truth is, nobody can truly help you. You have to make that resolve to say it is okay if I only have 2 likes. Those 2 likes will become 4 likes tomorrow. Those 4 likes will become 3 likes, you know. So that's how it works. You have to be intentional and just put it at the back of your mind that, you know what, those don't matter as long as I'm putting out the right thing and I am consistent, persistently putting it out there. I feel like that can help the person. Yeah.
Thank you. Honestly, Uwa, that was amazing. And I have a small brief testimony about that. My company, Maison Chai, has a TikTok page. If you want to follow, Maison Chai Limited. And we have been posting since when? For over the last year. And we've only been getting, you know, views in the 200s, 100s region. I think the most we've ever got is maybe 300. The other day, I posted a video. We're now at almost 5,000 views. Imagine if I had we were not going to post anymore because people were not seeing it. All it takes is just one video for you to really get the audience and the traction that you're looking for. So on that note,
sorry, Wango, let me just quickly add something. I know you want to run off. You know, just to add something, with content, you never can tell which of the content will grow. So your job is keep on posting all the content. Literally, it takes just one content for you to get the attention. So your job has never been to focus on the likes and the shares. Keep posting, keep pushing your content, keep writing. If it's a blog you're writing, keep doing everything you're doing and just leave it there. Something would eventually pick up.
Thank you so much, Uwa. Honestly, just thank you so much for your time, for your insights. I will definitely be looking for you across social media so that we can connect, because I think you're doing an amazing job. So over to our next speaker. I am so excited to introduce our